Michael, for $1 million, your final question is this. In the English alphabet, what is the third letter? Is it A, C, B, A, C, B, or D, I? Okay, I know this one. The answer is C. So your final answer is C, B. Oh, no, I mean the answer is A. Okay, your final answer is B, A? No. That's answer B. Your final answer is A then, which is B. No, that's B. So your final answer is C? No, C is B. I'm telling you the answer is C. I mean, A. B? C is B. The answer's C, like it is on the screen. What? Michael, we need a final answer. What is your final answer for $1 million? I don't. Oh, so close. The answer was A, C. No! Well, that'll do it for us, folks. Join us next time. Oh, and he's crying. Oh, it's just a dream. What's this? Hey, Matt, what's going on? Yeah, I can make another video. What kind of video do you have in mind? A quiz video? All right, let's jump right in and make this awesome quiz game. So let's start off in the indexed HTML. Let's make sure we got our stuff we need to make things work. The first thing we need to work is the script. That's pretty much where all of our stuff's going to be happening. So make sure you have your script tag inside your body tag here. And then just double check you have your link tag for style CSS. We'll do a very small amount of CSS at the end of this video. Okay, one last thing to notice. I already got my prizes here on the left, the pictures for my prizes. You can get them now or just wait till later so you have a better idea of what you want to put in there. All right, so now let's jump into our script and get going. So here, blank script.js file. The first thing we're going to do in here is just make a variable that's going to hold on to how much money we have earned as we go. Let's get that part out of the way. I'm just going to call it money because that's what makes the most sense. And we're going to start it off at 0, right? Game has just started. They don't have negative money. They don't have positive money. They're just 0. All right. You can put a semicolon at the end of this line. It's not required, but you can. Okay. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have a bunch of prompts asking us the question. We're going to hold on to that question with a variable and then check each answer to the correct answer every time. Then we'll use alerts to tell the user you got it right or got it wrong, and then how much money they earned. So let's get that all set up. And it's really just going to be repeating the same code over and over with slight minor changes. What we need to write to make this work is the first prompt. I'm going to call this ANS1, standing for answer 1. You can spell out answer. I just like to keep it nice and short. Okay, so this answer is going to hold into what they type. So here we have the prompt on the right side. Inside these parentheses, remember we have to give it a string. This is going to be some text that we put the question inside. So my first question, I'm just going to copy it real quick. You don't have to watch me type so much. It's a Pokemon question. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. If you don't know about that, I've been playing Pokemon since before you were born. And that is literally true. 1998 was when I first started playing Pokemon. So here we have, what is the Pokemon with the Pokedex ID of 4? Does anyone know that? Well, you maybe can play my game, but I'll tell you the answer in a second. So this is now going to ask that question. Let's get the if statement that's going to check if we typed in the right answer. Remember, it's an if, the word if, with parentheses, and inside here we put the condition. What are we checking? What's the variable we're checking against? So here we're going to say ANS1, if answer 1, triple equals Squirtle. So Squirtle is the correct answer here. And then we're also going to check the different spelling of Squirtle. Well, you might be like, there's not a different spelling. That's how it's spelled. That's how I grew up spelling it. But you can spell it with a lowercase s, and that will be different. So if they type in Squirtle lowercase s or Squirtle capital S, we want to make sure both are okay. The way we do that is by putting 2 pipes. Okay, there's little vertical lines here. This says or. If you can't find this key on your keyboard, it's above the enter key or the return key. You might see it on your keyboard. And you do shift in that key, okay? So those are pipes. It means or. Now we can type out a separate condition here. Same thing, answer 1 equals, but this time do a lowercase s. okay? And we should be good. Oh, let's make sure I spell it right. All right, this will check if we type in capital S or lowercase s. Let's put our curly braces at the end of this so we can put in the code that's gonna run if this executes. Well, what are we gonna do first? We're gonna change how much money they have by saying plus equals. I'm gonna give them $100 for the first correct answer. So plus equals takes money, whatever it was. If it was 0, this now make sure it is 100. It changes it to be 100. Okay, next up, let's do our alert. So this is gonna be an alert that we're gonna use in a lot of the different questions. So here I'm gonna say correct, oh my gosh, can't type today. Correct, you won $100. Okay, simple as that. And let's give them an exclamation point because it's all exciting. All right, so you won $100. We wanna make sure that this obviously matches how much money they earned right here. We don't want that to be different, make sure it's the same. Okay, last but not least, we need to tell them how much money they currently have, because after this answer, they may know how much they have. 100 and 0 is just 100, but later on, we need to tell them how much they've accrued and how much they've earned. So another alert, and this alert will happen after they close the first alert. Inside here, another string, okay, some text. You now have, and then a space here. After this quotes, let's do a plus symbol because we're gonna add a variable to this. Remember, we don't necessarily know how much money they have, but the variable money does, and that's always going to hold on to how much money we have. So if we just add money to here, and then say after this another string of dollars, this is going to put the number, in this case 100, in between the sentence. So you now have $100. And let's also put a little exclamation point here. And that's it. That's it for the if. But we need to check if they get it wrong. And I'm going to be pretty mean with this. I'm going to take away money if they get it wrong. I know, pretty evil. So remember, our else does not require a parentheses for the condition. It just requires curly braces. And what I'm going to put inside of here is actually pretty similar to this first section. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. You can copy it or type it out yourself. It's just going to save a lot of time. So if we get it wrong, I'm going to subtract money. So all we need to do to this money line for the variable is say minus equals. This takes whatever money was, subtracts 100 from it, and then sets money back to that number. So if we start at 0, we should now have negative 100 if we got it wrong. So now let's alert something else. This is not correct. We're going to say wrong, wrong. You lost $100. Okay, simple as that. And we're actually going to leave this last line the same exact amount. You now have money dollars. Okay, that's it for our first question. Let's see if this works. Let's run it. And because our script tag is in our HTML, it's going to run right off the bat. What is the Pokemon with a Pokedex of 4? So let's just do a lowercase Squirtle. Click OK. Correct. You won $100. This is working perfectly. Let's do a quick check that our else. Oh, you now have $100. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that actually made me notice something. Here, let me cancel this. I need to add a space in front of this right here so that the 100 isn't shoved right against that D in dollars. So I want to get this wrong, okay? So I'm going to say, that's not a Pokemon, right? I don't think that's a Pokemon. Maybe in the future. But there you go. You lost $100. We are working perfect. You now have negative 100. Okay, now all that we have to do for our second question is just copy all the code that relates to this first question and then change some things. So I'm going to copy everything from the let answer equals 1, so the whole question part, as well as the checking of the answers. I'm going to do Control-C or Command-C if you're on a Mac. And let's go down below, everything here. I'm going to do Control-V or Command-V if you're on a Mac, all right? And this pastes it in here. So now, all we have to do is change some things around. We need to change this to answer 2, okay? And I might as well just do it everywhere here as well, just at the same time. Answer 2, we need to make sure we're checking the correct variable against the correct stuff. And then change what our prompt is. So I'm going to swap out mine for a different question here. All right, so this one, what year did Minecraft come out? So this was a lot more recent than when Pokemon came out. So let's put in the correct answer here. This one is going to be 2011. That's when Minecraft came out. Now, we actually don't need an or here. They're going to write it in this way. No one's going to type out 2011, right? Or 2011. No one's going to do that. They're going to type in the numbers. So we can assume that, erase this second part, and we're just checking one condition. We give them $100. Correct. You want $100. And you now have something dollars, right? I'm actually going to increase this to 200 because it should be a slightly harder question, I would think. Okay, so I'm just gonna say 200 here. We're gonna increment a little bit higher. And now for our else, I'm just going to subtract 100 every time when they get it wrong. I'm not going to penalize them too much. So I'm going to leave this second else exactly the same. You can see how easy it is to swap out different questions and have different answers. So now let me go put in the last one for you guys, but you guys are going to do the rest yourself. Have as many questions as you want. Please put as many questions as you want. All right, so here we go. My last question is, in Marvel Comics and movies, who is known as the Mad Titan? Obviously, that is Thanos. I'm giving $500 here, 500, making sure I say 500, and then the same part down here. I want you guys to copy, add at least 3 questions, okay? Maybe 5, 10 if you're crazy. That's it for asking the questions. We can take a quick look at how this works. It should work. Let's get this one wrong. Okay, I lost $100. I start negative 100. What year did Minecraft come out? Let's do 2011. You won $200. I should have $100. Perfect. And in Marvel Comics and movies, who is known as the Mad Titan? Let's get this one right as well. You won $500. You now have $600. Okay, we beat the quiz, right? We earned $600. Let's see what our prize is. We're going to give away prizes depending on how much they won. And we'll get to that in the next video. So make sure you have your quiz fully finished, and then we'll get to the prizes in just a second.